guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena and today I'm sharing with you how to find your mission in New Earth. So if you identify as a starseed or a light worker, watch this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, hello, nice to see you. My name is Serena and I am here to help guide all things New Earth. Today we are talking all about the Lightworker and Starseed mission here on Earth. And if you already have some background information about Lightworkers and Starseeds, you may know that they are similar, but maybe not exactly the same thing. Now, for myself, I don't claim to be the end-all, be-all of this information. You know, I have my own identifications with what a light worker is and my own identification with what a starseed is. But at the end of the day, those are just labels. And for me, this is more so about tapping into yourself, your soul, your spirit, your higher self, and finding out what it is that your true mission here on Earth is. So let's start off by talking about that there's a main difference, I think, between your purpose and your mission. And oftentimes we get those two things confused. And oftentimes we think that our mission or our purpose or our goal in life has to do with a career or a vocation. And so we spend a lot of time and energy thinking about what should I do? What should I be doing for work? Should I be offering spiritual services? Should I be tarot reading? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And what I'm here to kind of talk about today is this idea that your mission as a light worker or as a starseed is actually a lot more broad and a lot more generalized than most people think it is, right? And so for me, right, I'm not here to tell you exactly what your mission is because I don't know exactly what your mission is. And I know that might be disappointing to hear, but what's really important is finding and tapping into yourself so that you can find out what your mission is. And so that's what I'm really going to be talking about today. A lot of times when you are looking for your mission, right, a lot of times our deepest wounds are actually our greatest evolution to healing and greatest evolution to helping others. So sometimes your mission can be attached to your deepest core wounds. So if you're a light worker, you're a starseed, you've probably been on the spiritual path for a little bit of time at least. And you probably have some good ideas of what traumas you endured in childhood or what wounds you have. Maybe you have wounds around speaking up or speaking your truth. Maybe you have wounds about taking up too much space. Maybe you have wounds about being weird or being different or just feeling like you don't fit in. And so a lot of starseeds and lightworkers identify with these same wounds because we're meant to be here in order to uplift consciousness, right? And the way in which you do that is going to be unique to you, right? So your mission here on Earth, when I tap into my mission and, you know, my reason why I do the things that I do, I'm going to share a story. I work as two different things. I work in the salon in South Africa as a hairstylist, and that has been my vocation for a very long time. Now I also do coaching, and so sometimes I will have crossover between the people that I am doing hair for and then the people that also want to do coaching. But then I also do coaching for twin flame and new earth relationships and all of that kind of stuff as well. And so those are my main areas of focus. And so I had a client in my chair for the first time the other day, and he was a man that was just really down and really angry and holding a lot of resentment to the world and, you know, very, very grumpy and, you know, there was a part of me that I was thinking when I was talking to him, because, I was trying to get a feel for him. I was trying to make some polite conversation, and he's like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Chicago. And he's like, oh, it's a terrible city. It's horrible. I hate it there. And I'm like, yeah, it's not my favorite either. That's why I'm not there anymore. And, just trying to be as polite as possible. And this man was, don't take too much off. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is stupid. I hate ignorant people, blah, blah, blah. Very, very aggressive in a certain way, and just very angry. And so in my mind, I was like, there's a part of me that almost wants to speak up to him and say, hey, look, like, I'm a human. You don't have to be like that towards me, But I could see on the outside it was just a front. It was a front that he uses to test people, to see how strong they are and to see what they'll put up with. And so where I went to was the core of myself. And the core of myself loves and accepts everybody unconditionally, no matter how they are to me, because I know that it's not personal towards me, right? They're going through whatever they're going through in their lives, and they are projecting their thoughts, beliefs, and ideals onto me, right? So it's never actually personal. And so what this instance that kind of scared me, because he was so aggressive, and I didn't want to do anything wrong. I wanted him to be happy. I didn't want, all of these fears started coming up when I was cutting his hair, and I had to work really hard just to keep my hands from not shaking, because I was very scared of this man and this energy that he had. And I had to keep reminding myself, you're the professional. He's here to see you. He's in your chair. You're in control. And then, really protecting myself from him throwing that, that angry energy on me, and me just not allowing it to truly penetrate myself. And this is the first time since doing hair again, before, when I did it back in Chicago, that I had a client like this in my chair. And so it happened to me frequently in Chicago, but not so much here. And so this was a big wake-up call for me to realize how much I have changed and grown over the time. And when he was done with his haircut and he was satisfied, he was like, you know what? You're such a gem. I'm so glad I found this place, and I will definitely be back. And, it was so surprising to me, because he was so angry the whole time that I was like, how is this possible? And what I realized was I was truly tapped into my mission. And my personal mission on this earth is to be a safe space as a human. So let me explain to you a little bit what that might look like, because I guarantee a lot of you guys also share this same mission. It's not just specifically only unique to me. It's probably unique in the way that I go about bringing it out, but it's not a unique mission at all. And there's a lot of people that probably really resonate with this, right? And so I think about myself as a child growing up highly sensitive in a family that was not highly sensitive, growing up very spiritual, very tapped into the unseen realms, and the trauma that put on my psyche and my sense of self. I always felt growing up like there was no space for what I believed. There was no space for my emotions. There was no space for what I was feeling. So I grew up really questioning my reality and questioning myself and not believing in myself. And so when I would say certain things that I was experiencing, and my family would be like, oh, no, that's not true. You're just so sensitive. You just stop now. That really puts a dent in your sense of self, and that also makes you have a very big shadow self, because you end up just cutting off that part of yourself in order to feel safe, right? So what I've now adopted as my safe space, and what I bring to my coaching, and what I bring to my hairstyling, and what I bring to the grocery store and to my interactions with people, is that they can truly tell me anything about themselves, and I will hold space for that to be there. Because I'm very familiar with the feeling of somebody devaluing or not supporting your way of thinking or your way of being. So the service that I provide to people is truly almost a selfless service, in the way that when people are upset with me or when people are triggered, I very deeply tap into my core highest self so that I can be a clear channel as to not get triggered or to not take on their pain, so that I can just hold space for them to speak their truth. And just allowing people the space to speak their truth can be incredibly healing, which is why we don't have to actually fix anything for anybody else. And most of the time, people don't want solutions to their problems. What they want is to be heard and to be seen and to be felt and empathized with. And when you can do that for people, that oftentimes has the most healing effect that you can possibly give. So this morning I was meditating, and I'm going to share this card with you. This was the card I pulled out of my own deck that I've made. And this card I find is such a funny card, and it's called Approachable. As you can see, it has the little hand on there, and if you can see in the background, it has a hand mirroring it. So it's like one hand saying hi to the other hand. And then there's different planets, a galaxy behind, and then of course a spaceship in the background. And so the idea behind this card, Approachable, is that if you are a starseed or a light worker, you probably find yourself being friends to all walks of life. And that's really what this card is about, is people will approach you and people will tell you things or share things with you that they wouldn't be able to share with anybody else, because of the fact that you're such a clear channel. You've done so much work on yourself to clear out your own karma, to make yourself pure in a certain sense, that people are able to just share things with you and know that there's not going to be any judgment, because you've been in your own depth. You've walked that path before them or alongside them, and they can feel that. So finding your mission as a starseed or a light worker a lot of times has to do with not what position you're doing or what you're doing for a career, but it's how you show up in the world. And how you create things in the world. Sometimes your mission is to bring beauty into the world. Sometimes your mission is to bring peace and acceptance. Sometimes your mission is to bring unconditional love. So when you're thinking about your mission, think broader, think a wider span of not just, I'm going to do this and this is my mission. Your mission really has to do with what are the energies that you want to bring forward in the world. What do you feel very connected to? All of us that are light workers and starseeds are bringing in more full frequencies, or bringing in lighter frequencies or higher frequencies. And so because of that, we oftentimes think that we have to have really specific careers that play into that. But it doesn't always mean that you have to be a guru, you have to be a spiritual teacher in order to be a light worker. You can be an artist, you can be somebody who's mows lawns. I actually had a therapist back when I was in high school, and one of the things that she told me when I was first awakening onto my spiritual path was, even the most enlightened person can still be a bus driver. She's like, imagine the impact that an enlightened bus driver has on all the children that get on that bus on a daily basis, right? So I think a lot of times we get caught in an ego trap of, I have to do something in a spiritual realm. I have to be a tarot reader, I have to be a psychic, I have to do mediumship, I have to do Reiki, energy healing, I have to do something spiritual with my life. And that's not necessarily true. When you think about being a hairstylist, which is like my first love, is being a hairstylist, and even though I do not make as much as a hairstylist as I do as a coach, I still do it a couple times a week because I absolutely love it. I love doing it. I love being creative. I love talking to people in that way. I love making people feel beautiful about themselves. And the perspective that I'm able to bring into a hair salon as a spiritual person is unlike any other perspective that you can bring in. So keep in mind, as you're searching for your mission and you're tapping in and tuning into yourself, your mission doesn't have to look any one certain way. It's more so about the frequency that you're bringing in. So one, look to your childhood, look to your traumas, and look to the true alchemy of your own life to find what your mission might be to help others. 2, don't get lost in a job or a vocation for your mission. Stay broad, stay on the energy basis. And then 3, just be patient. Be patient with yourself, because our purpose and our mission in life is always evolving. And Eckhart Tolle, in the book The Power of Now, said that our primary purpose is to awaken. And I highly believe this is true as well. And so what I truly believe is that everyone's purpose is to awaken. And the way that you choose to do that is the more physical purpose that you choose. Maybe your career or parenthood or something like that. So keep in mind that you are living your purpose every day if you are dedicated to your spiritual practice, if you are serving others, if you are being true to yourself. That is living your purpose or living your mission every single day. And your career or your vocation is what you do in this physical reality, honestly, to just waste time. That's what a job really is. Like, you know, it gets us money so we can eat and stuff like that, but it also can help be an outlet to express or help other people. But really, your career is something that you do in this life to spend your time. So choose something that you love. Choose something that makes you fulfilled, something that makes you feel good, and something that makes others feel good. And when you follow your heart, you can't go wrong. So if you need more help finding your spiritual mission in this life and figuring out what it is that really lights you up, or where your strengths even are, and you're looking for more support, you can check the link in the description below, and you can fill out my coaching form if you'd like to work with me one-on-one. Or you can also paste a comment down below if you're looking for more insight, and I'll answer your questions as best that I can. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to like and comment on this video, subscribe for more, hit the little notification button so you see all of the videos that I'm coming out with. Thank you so much for being here. Big love, Serena.